Chapter 13. Forgiving sets us free. Forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. I had to first come to a place of forgiving myself for the end of our marriage before I could start the process of forgiving my former wife. So I did my daily spiritual fitness routine of prayer, rosary, nutrition, yoga, reading, journaling, and meditating. My relationship with God comforted me along the way. As I worked on forgiving myself, I finally came to a place where I wanted to forgive my former wife. But how? Then the day arrived. I signed up for a conference in San Diego and booked my flight to the West Coast. Since the event date fell on my weekend to watch our girls, I didn't think it would be really a problem to trade off for another weekend with my former wife. But guess what? She couldn't watch them because she and her new boyfriend also booked a trip to San Diego that weekend on the same flight as mine. There are no coincidences in life. This is a humble warrior principle. So take this to the heart. Everything is being orchestrated by something much greater than us, whether we can see the overall picture or not at any given time. I told my former wife I would like to meet with her and her boyfriend in San Diego the night before my conference started. By this time, we had been divorced close to 1.5 years, and she was in the beginning process of introducing our 3 daughters to her new boyfriend. What mattered the most to me was to have the chance to speak my truth about how I felt regarding their situation, and more importantly, to forgive myself and my former wife. I realized that I was a loving man connected to all, a spiritual warrior, and I look forward to the chance to put this understanding to work. The humble warrior golden rule. I take full responsibility for my life. I don't blame anyone or anything for my circumstances. I create what I want in this life. Please refer to this golden rule as you read about our meeting. I don't blame my former wife for anything. Spiritual fitness in action. I arrived at the hotel around noon Pacific time and ate a healthy lunch. A few hours later, I took my 4.5-mile run at a 7-minute mile clip because I wanted to sweat out any toxins. After that, I did some yoga postures before cooling down in an icy shower. It is healing for the body to switch temperatures like that and also helps with detoxing. The meeting with my former wife and her boyfriend to take place at 6 p.m. Refreshed and centered, I headed for our table at 5:30, which gave me a half hour to enjoy a view of the beautiful Pacific out the window in the restaurant. During this time, I thanked God for my relationship with my former wife. I thanked Him for teaching me the art of forgiveness. It felt like everything was coming full circle for me in that moment. An intentions plan I'd written out on Christmas Day was working. The plan had stated that I would maintain my daily spiritual fitness routine of prayer, rosary, nutrition, yoga, reading, journaling, and meditating. Many times I cried through the rosary, and a few times I cried on the yoga mat. My tears helped me to love myself unconditionally. Through prayer, yoga, meditation, writing, and God's love, I was able to finally and truly forgive myself for all the mistakes I made that I contributed to the breakdown of our marriage. I was learning compassion and kindness. And I was learning how to forgive my former wife for the ways I felt hurt by her too. At 5 minutes to 6, I prayed, God be with me now. Then I closed my eyes and listened to the gentle, lulling sound of the sea. By the time they arrived, I was totally prepared. When I approached her boyfriend, I gave him a hug. All is cool, my brother. Then we sat down. I looked into my former wife's eye. I wanted to make sure my forgiveness was genuine. We'd had many disagreements, for example, over the timing of when our children would be introduced to her boyfriend's family, and other issues of that nature. So I spoke my truth to her about my thoughts, knowing that it is important for me to speak my truth. I accepted that whatever they did from there on with regard to introducing their kids to each other would be out of my control. Whatever is going to happen will happen. I have inner peace. This is the art of surrendering. The meeting lasted only 20 minutes, and at the end I wished them the best. I gave the boyfriend a few tips on how to approach my former wife's father, build that connection bridge, and wished them the best on their journey. When they left, I stared out at the ocean once more and again gave thanks for my time with her. I offer my experience to those of you who struggle in your own relationships. You can do the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual work to find the root cause. You can come to peace and the acceptance of your pain. It felt so good to truly forgive. I was ready to let go and move on. The following morning, I was well rested in time for the conference, and I was ready for whatever might unfold. The first order of business was the introduction of an exercise in which we had to write about a defining moment in our lives from another perspective. I was amazed to go within and see that the other I wanted to write in the voice of was none other than God himself. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and asked God what he wanted to say to me. My hands began to shake, and tears dropped on the pages. My boy, it's time. You are no longer a boy, you are a man who needs to teach. Teach what I have taught you. Tell them the love I have for them. Tell them the power that each one has. Teach me like I have never been taught. Speak from the heart. I'm with you. As part of the exercise, we were also to break down our entire life's purpose into one defining sentence. I received clarity on that one defining sentence that summed up my whole life, and it will anchor me to my life force for the rest of my days. It's in the heart where God speaks.